Hey solos. So you want to go to Walt Disney World this year all by yourself and you want to go for Christmas and Christmas is always an expensive time of year and you just want to do like a quick trip, like a quick, inexpensive little trip to Disney just to get your own Christmas fix in and not have to worry about anyone else. How can you go to Disney solo this Christmas? Kind of on a budget. Well, solo spoiler, Christmas is actually a great time to go to Disney. And I don't really like this term, but you can kind of cheap out, but you can do it in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're missing anything. And that's why actually Christmas, especially at the beginning of December, is a great time to go to Disney solo for a little trip that won't cost that much, depending on the choices you make. So let's see. Hi everyone, it's Samantha. Olaf may not know who Samantha is, but now you do, and welcome to Disney Solo Magic, the #1 podcast for solo travel to Disney World, now in its second year, and now posting on Thursdays. So in this episode, it is the third, the end of the trilogy of different things related to Christmas. And I did one episode of what is happening at the different parks. And then I did an episode about what a trip around the different resorts could look like. And when I was planning those ones, I realized I had some tips that actually crossed both of those episodes regarding kind of saving money, kind of saving money. And so I thought I would put that all together. Now, the reason why I'm hesitant about using words like budget and cheap and saving money is because I recognize that people who are drawn to those words might not actually appreciate how I use them. And basically, I'm talking about my grandmother. My grandmother who's passed away, she would not say that anything that I do is saving money, especially taking a trip. So I'm really just processing childhood trauma by using those words hesitantly. But I know that people really liked the episode that I did about kind of cheaper budget saving tips. And really what it is stretching your dollar the most. And again, I think that Christmas is actually a really good time to do that. So that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. So all of my social media links are below. You can listen to this on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. Please, one of the great things about YouTube is that you can comment. So even if you don't primarily listen on YouTube, go over to YouTube and comment, because I love reading the comments about what your favorite money saving, budget stretching, dollar stretching tip is around Christmas, because I think that will really help. And I've also put together a playlist on YouTube, so it's just easy to get to all the episodes related to Christmas. So you can go check that out. That link is below. There's a Patreon, and that's been really wonderful. Thank you all so much. I just really appreciate our small but mighty community, and it's been really wonderful to not have additional expenses related to the podcast because of Patreon, and it's really nice to be able to do things like a reflection on all the episodes and things like that on Patreon, to share a little bit more uncensored. So I think that's it. Let's get into it. All right. So, these tips are really and or. So it's, you can really switch these tips around as much as possible, as much as you want, depending on the type of trip that you're doing. Now, look, Disney is expensive. There is really no way around that. And there was just an article in the New York Times about the way that Disney is its business strategy is kind of isolating the middle class. So that's terrible, and it's kind of hard to think about how to reconcile that with going so often. But there are things around Christmas time, actually, in which you can take a fairly inexpensive trip. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. But look, I'm not the type of gal that's actually, I will be saying this, but I'm not the type of gal that's going to be pack a PB&J sandwich from your hotel room and snack on that in the parks. Of course you can do that. You don't need me to tell you. I do think that if you are already on your vacation, that you might as well just lean into it. You don't want to feel like you've denied yourself stuff, but there is a difference between getting a spring roll from the spring roll cart at at Magic Kingdom and going to Cinderella Castle for dinner, for example, right? So I'm the type of person that's like, okay, well, if you want to go to Disney and save money, then like look up the best quick services. Personally, all due respect, personally, I would rather eat a quick service at a quick service restaurant and eat like the lobster roll at Columbia Harbor House than to like make my own sandwich and walk around. But if that's what works for you, that's wonderful. But those aren't going to be the tips that I'm going to provide to you, really. So the first tip that I'm going to give you, and if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that I love a list, but I cannot keep track of the numbers. So this is point number 1. Who knows what point I will end up on because I always forget. So point number 1 is that you can go to Disney at Christmas time and not go to the parks and still be surrounded, drenched in Disney Christmas magic. And you can do that by doing everything that I talked about in the episode a couple weeks ago about going to all the resorts. Like, in many ways, the resorts kind of barf all over Christmas in a more concentrated way than the parks because the parks are so big. So you can go to Disney at Christmas time and you can go solo and not go to the parks. And then the cost, like the main cost, is really just your hotel. I always recommend staying on property, of course. And then you can like do that day trip that I suggested a couple weeks ago, or you can like separate it into a couple days, but like that is the like number 1 tip really for going to Disney at Christmas and saving money. Just don't go to the parks. The second tip is don't go to the parks, but also go to Disney Springs. So I didn't talk about Disney Springs at all over the last couple episodes, but the fact is Disney Springs is beautiful at Christmas time. And I've mentioned on the podcast before about other holidays where you're expecting to see like a ton of stuff for Valentine's Day. And really, you're not going to see a ton of stuff around the Walt Disney World resort properties and parks because it's just like too much for putting up and down over the course of a couple days or for like 1 or 2 day holiday. Halloween is a much different thing. Christmas is a much different thing. But for all those smaller holidays, what you have are all these independent people at Disney Springs that are like, yes, we want extra business. So let's put this flavor on here. Let's make this into a Christmas tree. Let's dye this red. Like the stores and restaurants and snack bars and things like that at Disney Springs are just full of Christmas. Plus for I don't know how many years now, but it's a fairly standard programming thing. They do this Christmas tree stroll where there's Christmas trees all over Disney Springs. I know in the past you can get like a little scavenger hunt like map where you can go and take a look and check them all off and just go do that. I mean, these trees are so gorgeous. And whereas the trees at the different resorts are beautiful and they're themed to the different hotels, what's really interesting about the Christmas trees at Disney Springs is that they are a little bit more interpretive, maybe. Like there could be like a Star Wars tree. And so the theme isn't just like Christmas at the beach, right? Like it would be at the Beach Club Resort. It's like, okay, here's a Christmas tree, but Encanto or Day of the Dead. And so so if you love Christmas trees and Christmas decorations, you can see all the trees at the resorts and at Disney Springs and really like not see much duplication in terms of Christmas decorations. So that's amazing. Plus, like I said, at Disney Springs, you can eat all of this seasonal type of food, which is fun when you're walking around. Disney Springs, you can do it day, you can do it night, like wonderful. Plus you can also see Santa at Disney Springs and it's free. And there's usually like a virtual queue so you can put your name in the queue and then walk around. So there's that too. At Disney Springs, they always have entertainment, and so entertainment around Christmas time is more seasonal. They often will have a like motorized Christmas tree that's like motoring around, which is kind of fun. That's usually around Marketplace Co-op and the World of Disney, like in that area. And then in the evening solos, Disney Springs snows. It snows right in the area where people get let off for the buses. There is kind of an open space there where it's supposed to be a bit of a hub. I don't think that is how people use it. But anyway, that's supposed to be a hub. There's a giant, giant Christmas tree, like, higher than the buildings. And at certain points in the evening, and there is a schedule, it will tell you all about that schedule. It snows, and it's the same snow that they have during like the Christmas party at Magic Kingdom, and you don't need to go to Magic Kingdom and buy the Christmas party ticket. Like, it's really, really cool and really, really magical. So there you go. I guess I could end the episode here. You can go to Disney for a few days for a quick trip all by yourself and go to the resorts and go to Disney Springs and just get an infusion of Christmas. And again, you don't need to go to the parks at all. And I'm saying this from somebody that obviously goes to the parks a lot and somebody that does like Christmas, but there is so much across the resorts in Disney Springs that you don't really miss the parks that much. Now, I know that Magic Kingdom or Cinderella Castle at Magic Kingdom used to have those frozen lights that would like come down. They look like icicles. Gosh, what are they called? I know for those of you who remember are like saying it in your head. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, but we're just fill in the blanks here. Dream lights? Something like that. And a lot of people think that with the return of the gray castle, the lights will return as well. I don't know if that's the case, because what people said about the castle that they did for the 50th anniversary, the blue and pink, is that it's mapped now for the projection. And so if they put the dream lights on the castle at Christmas time, it gets in the way of the projection show, like the projection show during the fireworks. And I think that's going to be the same. So it's like, yes, the Christmas tree and all that stuff is beautiful at Magic Kingdom, of course, but it's not like you're going to see that extra little bit on the castle, and you can just see the Christmas decorations at Disney Springs instead. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so tip number 3, let's say you do really want to go to the parks. So I have 2 kind of money saving, budget, dollar stretching type tips. And they seem a little bit in contradiction with each other. So it's either or if you need to go to the parks. Number 1 is to only go to the Christmas party. So first, the Christmas party, both Jollywood and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the tickets get more expensive the closer you get to Christmas time. And so if you really wanted to go to the parties, then like go this month, like go as soon as possible. And if you're doing just like a cheap, quick trip and you just want to get that infusion of Christmas, then only buy a ticket to the party. Don't buy any other park tickets. You can get into the park a few hours before the party starts. So like at Disney, for example, at Magic Kingdom, for example, the party starts at 7. So you can get into the park around 3 o'clock and just go in at 3 and spend your time until midnight and get all the Christmas that you want. So that's one option. But that means if you go for 3 or 4 days, you're not going to the parks any of the other days. And again, you can go to the resorts, you can go to Disney Springs. It's not a terrible way to spend a few days. The other option is to not go, to the parties at all and to get like one park hopper ticket and do all 4 parks in one day to see the Christmas decorations. So again, this is a Christmas trip. You're not focusing on the rides necessarily. You're not focusing on like doing the whole park up. You're really focusing on like seeing Christmas decorations, getting infused with Christmas, all of that stuff. And so if you were to get one park hopper ticket, you could go to all 4 parks and get as much Christmas as possible. And then, the rest of the time that you're there, you can hang out in the pool, you can go to the different resorts, you can go to Disney Springs, etc. So if you were to get one park hopper ticket and try to do all 4 parks in one day to do the Christmas decorations, this is how I would do it. I would start in the morning at Magic Kingdom. There's just something, I, as a night owl, I don't rope drop, but I do really like it when I am there randomly in the morning and it's not that busy yet. And there's like, the sun is out, but there's a bit of a cool breeze and you can really smell the stuff that they are piping out to make it seem like they are constantly baking fresh gingerbread, all of that stuff. So you could go to Disney first thing in the morning and walk along Main Street and get your pictures with the PhotoPass photographers in front of the Christmas tree and do some selfies in front of the Christmas tree. See the Christmas decorations, like walk over to like the bookshop, like Belle's Bookshop, for example. There's some beautiful Christmas decorations there. I took pictures a few years ago and printed them out and had them on my fridge all Christmas long. If you're so inclined, you could get a cinnamon roll at that little tavern there, the Beauty and the Beast Tavern, as a breakfast. Okay, that's a little bit much for me, but it's still seasonal, so you could do that. And just be there and enjoy the Christmas decorations. If you can, maybe do a ride, but just spend your morning at Magic Kingdom looking at Christmas decorations. I mean, that sounds amazing. There's only one ride during the day that has an overlay, a Christmas overlay, and that is the Jungle Cruise. It changes to the Jingle Cruise. Jungle Cruise always has a very long line, so depending on what your timing is like and things like that, you might not want to wait in line, but you can go over to the Jungle Cruise and see the decorations that they have. I was there a few years ago on a Keys to the Kingdom tour during the Christmas season, and sometimes on the Keys to the Kingdom tour, you can do the Jungle Cruise as one of the 2 attractions that you are able to go on. And so we did that there. We obviously bypassed the line, but just because of the way that we were standing, and as the tour guide was telling us about all these different information, where we were standing, I was able to like see and take in so many more of the decorations they did on the Jungle Cruise for Christmas. And it was cool, and I would have just like walked by it. So if you're there at Magic Kingdom first thing in the morning, and the line to the Jungle Cruise or the Jingle Cruise is already too long, just walk down there and still see the Christmas decorations and the different cast members and the skippers, and see if they're all dressed up, and that's super fun. From Magic Kingdom, I would either go to Animal Kingdom or to Hollywood Studios next. It's up to you. I would walk around, I would look at all the Christmas decorations, of course, and then for lunch, I would either go to Tusker House, which is a character dining restaurant at Animal Kingdom, or I would go to Hollywood and Vine, which is a character dining restaurant at Hollywood Studios, and I would do that for lunch. The reason why I would pick one of those 2 restaurants to do for lunch, it's character dining, so it's a little bit expensive, but you are going to see Mickey and Minnie all in all of their Christmas decoration or in all of their Christmas outfits. So it's kind of fun to then be able to be like, wow, look, I have this picture of Mickey and Minnie wearing kind of Christmas themed outfits. And if you're going to do it, I think that, taking advantage of being able to see the characters in Christmas outfits on this big day, I think would be just really awesome. After your lunch at either Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, I would then go to the other park. So if you started at Hollywood Studios, then go to Animal Kingdom and take a look around, see all the Christmas decorations, digest some of that food from the big buffet at your character dining restaurant. Again, take pictures of all the Christmas trees and all the Christmas decorations. My mom really loves the Christmas decorations at Animal Kingdom because they are so unique. I really love the Christmas decorations at Hollywood Studios because I love the vintage feel. So depend where you want to spend some time. But after you are finished at that park, so now we've gone to 3 parks, you should end your day at Epcot. And I would end my day at Epcot because of the International Festival of the Holidays. So the International Festival of the Holidays is the food festival that happens through the month of December. And they have a lot of sweet stuff, but they also have a lot of savory things. And so I would end the day like I did that big buffet at Tusker House or Hollywood and Dine for lunch. But now for dinner, I would walk around, I would see all the Christmas decorations at night, I would stop by food booths, and I would eat my, delicious little potato latkes, and I had a fondue there, so delicious. I would eat that, and that is how I would end my day. I would start at Magic Kingdom, then I would do Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, one or the other next, then the other ones next, and then I would end at Epcot, and I would have one park day, one park hopper, and that is how I would get everything in. And I think that'd be really great. So this this third tip, are we on number 3? This third tip is either to go and just do the parties or to go to go and just do one party, because again, we're saving money, or to go for one day, do a park hopper and just go and see all of the Christmas decorations at the parks. So that helps with your energy a little bit too. I've done 4 parks in one day before, like explicitly, and I was thinking of doing an episode on like 4 parks in one day strategies. You can let me know if that is something you're interested in. The next tip is kind of an all-encompassing tip. So whether you are doing the resorts and Disney Springs or you're doing the parks, this can count for all of that, although maybe it contradicts a little bit my last tip. But it's about snacks and treats. So at a lot of the resorts, they'll have a little store next to the main gingerbread display where you can buy gingerbread things. There is also going to be a lot of little special snacks and things like that at the different parks that they'll highlight that, again, are Christmas themed. And so my tip here is don't get any of them. Don't get any of them. First, I've never had anything at Christmas time that I really felt was ooh, this is amazing. And I think the reason why is because, speaking frankly, you can kind of be lazy with Christmas flavors, right? Peppermint, chocolate, gingerbread, sugar, green, red, you can just put a whole bunch of stuff on it. And the fact is, it's not that special or unique generally. And when they sell the gingerbread beside the gingerbread structures at the different resorts, gingerbread is gingerbread, it's not, at Grand Floridian, they always promote the fact that they are selling shingles from the roof of the gingerbread house. But y'all, and look, I bought this. This is no judgment. Y'all, it's a square of gingerbread. There's literally nothing cool or unique about it. There's no icing. It's not shaped as Mickey. It's a square. It's a square of gingerbread. So why would you spend money on that? Now, I'm just saying this and I have bought quite a lot of gingerbread, and with the Canadian conversion, I get home and I was what did I spend $30 on at that hotel? Oh, it was a giraffe gingerbread and I don't know, a drink. I couldn't believe the prices once I was out. Once I popped the idea of Disney. Once I left the Disney bubble, that popped and I looked at the prices, I was I did not need that gingerbread for that amount of money. So you are going to be tempted to buy, and I get it. I am not judging you at all. I will be tempted to buy too. And Disney wants you to buy this stuff. And look, Disney, I also want to buy this stuff. But if we are having kind of an economical trip, then don't buy the gingerbread. Don't go out of your way to have a peppermint flavored whoopie pie, because you know what it's going to taste like. So I'm telling you not to buy it, but I also know from my own experiences as someone that does love to shop that you need to then replace it, because if I had left the hotels or whatever without buying things, I would have been oh, I'm not part of the whole experience. So I've had to think about and train myself to get out of that. And it's a bit of a bait and switch. So, for example, I really love ginger chews. I really love ginger candy. I really love the flavor of ginger generally. I also really love ginger spice. If you know, you know. And so I will often have ginger chews in my bag when I'm traveling for nausea, but I will now put some in my purse when I'm walking around at Christmas time. And if I feel ooh, I should buy that gingerbread shingle, I pop a ginger chew in my mouth and literally my brain is we did it. Don't worry, it's over. And that actually has really, really helped. And again, it's not I am not the type of person, when they do like extreme cheapskates and things like that. No, I love to spend money, but sometimes I can be a little quote unquote cheap because I want that value I want it to be like the best value possible. So I'm telling you, for example, go to Tusker House and have a great character dining buffet with the characters in their Christmas outfits, but don't go buy $50 worth of fine gingerbread from the little kiosk beside the gingerbread building at the beach club resort. You know what I mean? So figure out other ways. The other thing is to go to Starbucks. Like, what the prices are going to be at Starbucks. If you collect stars, you can get stars. The Starbucks are all over the place. You can get a gingerbread loaf. You can get a peppermint mocha. You can get all of those same flavors. And it is a little less money than getting like a big giant thing somewhere else. So if you're like walking around Disney Springs, for example, and you're like, oh gosh, like I really wish I was able to do like X, Y, and Z to get like the most of this Disney experience, just be like, okay, no, go to the Starbucks, get a peppermint mocha, get a piece of gingerbread, walk around Disney Springs, look at the Christmas trees, and like, that actually sounds like heaven, right? I don't need to go and buy a gingerbread shingle to get that. So, and I actually like the gingerbread loaf at Starbucks way better than the gingerbread I've gotten at Disney because it's, like more moist. So that's what I'm telling you to do, to be careful about where and how Disney is going to suck you in with the extra food and snack options that are quote unquote Christmas themed that are not like super, super great, and replace that with options that are more economical, whether you're bringing those options or whether you're getting it at a place such as Starbucks or Joffrey's where the prices are, I don't know, like a modicum more reasonable. And like, look, if you want to bring your own ginger snap cookies with you on the plane and then like have a couple in your bag while you're walking around the different resorts or while you're at Magic Kingdom, then go do that. You do you, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Like, just take out that temptation, but don't deny yourself. Like, you still want that peppermint flavor or that gingerbread flavor, then go and do that. The next tip is the same with souvenirs. Don't buy Christmas souvenirs because they are so, so expensive. So I mentioned this in an episode before. My rule with getting souvenirs for other people at Disney World is that I don't buy souvenirs for them unless they're going to appreciate they're from Disney World. So I can get a t-shirt for my goddaughter with Minnie Mouse on it at the park, or I can get it on Amazon for like $10, and because she's a baby, she doesn't care or notice or would even know that there's a difference, and then I can be like, look, I saw Minnie Mouse, and here's Minnie Mouse on this t-shirt. Because the markup is so much with the Disney Parks merchandise that it is just not economical for, look, I buy all the stuff. Like, do not worry. But I'm just saying, if we were trying to have like an economical trip, then don't be seduced by all of the Christmas merchandise. And like, look, Disney wants you to buy it, and you might want to buy it, and I want to buy it, and I want you to buy it. But if you're having a cheap trip, then you have to not buy it. So again, it's kind of like a little bit of a replacement. You might have seen all of the Old Navy ads this year where they have a ton of Disney Christmas pajamas. So why don't you order yourself a pair of Old Navy pajamas, Disney Christmas pajamas before your trip? Don't take them out of the bag yet. Pack them in your suitcase, and then when you get to your Disney hotel, you can open up your suitcase and have this brand new pair of pajamas to wear that are Disney themed. And then when you're walking through the different stores on your inexpensive trip, you're like, oh no, I already have Disney Christmas pajamas at home, and that might help. Another tip that I gave for families, I guess maybe it was in that episode about stretching your money at Disney, is that you should buy souvenirs from like Amazon or Walmart or wherever before your trip and pack them, and then like give them to your children throughout the trip so that you're not spending as much money in the parks or at the hotel for souvenirs. And I said, okay, now that's of course hard to do when you're solo traveling because you bought it and it's not going to be a surprise to you. But at Christmas time, if you're trying to save money, you can do something like get the Old Navy pajamas, don't open them, and then like surprise yourself to be like, ooh, I'm in my new pajamas. But you can also do that with some other things as well. Sure, you can do that with snacks, but maybe also like a fancy face mask that is like Christmas themed, or maybe you saw like a fun purse from an online retailer that is Disney and Christmas. Like I did that. I have this really cute purse. Is it Loungefly? It might be Loungefly, but I didn't buy it from Loungefly. I bought it from Her Universe, if I'm thinking correctly. And it looks like an envelope that Mickey sends to Santa. Like it's super cute. And I bought it on the website before I went on the trip, and I didn't even look at it before I went on the trip. And then I opened up my suitcase and there was like my brand new purse to wear on the trip. And I really enjoyed that. And I believe I also did that with like a skirt and another outfit and a brooch and things like that, so that there were like novel things that were part of my everyday trip during Christmas, but it helped me not buy the Christmas merchandise I was seeing everywhere. The other thing is, if you want a souvenir from your trip, find more economical options for your souvenir. So I know there are people, and I'm kind of interested in doing this. Now is not quite the right time, but maybe in the summer, that they'll buy like a purse and then they'll bring a Sharpie and have the character sign the purse. But you could also do that with like a Christmas decoration. Well, okay, so as I mentioned on the podcast, I've been doing a lot of resin art, so I'm getting ready to do a ton of Christmas decorations. And so I'm thinking like something flat, and you can get a character to sign it, and it would have to be flat. So you could do something like that, or you could get characters to sign an autograph book and then put it in resin. I don't know, maybe you have like a different artistic medium that you could do with that, but you can like collect those things that are a little bit more economical. Well, they're very economical because you're setting it up ahead of time to collect the signatures that can be turned into a Christmas ornament or something like that when you get home. That also extends your trip too. If you're like, okay, well, once the character signs this, I'm going to do this with it, and when I get home, and then it's like that extension of your trip. Because that's the thing with Disney solo travel, like, gosh, you're like in this bubble by yourself because you're solo traveling and it's so wonderful. And then you get back to the real world and you want to keep those feelings, those wonderful feelings, as long as possible. So sometimes they have to be kind of private, not secret, but private, because there aren't people around you that really support that type of joy and magic that you feel at Disney. And so if you create opportunities for yourself to extend that, that is a way to like bring some of that joy and magic through the holiday season, which can be a lot for a lot of people. You could also get one of those Disney pins that says I'm celebrating, and you can get them to write I'm celebrating Christmas on it. You can even pay the like $3 to $5 to get somebody to like fancy write I'm celebrating Christmas on it. Now it will be a lot busier this time of year because you get those fancy writing at the places that do the Christmas ornaments. So be careful, that is going to be very busy, but that is an option. And it was $3 the last time I do it. The last time I did it, I feel like it must be $5 now, but go check that out. Again, that's kind of an economical souvenir. But essentially, you're planning for a really special trip ahead of time by lining things up that you are pre-planning your souvenirs so you don't have to buy them there. The other thing is, if you, for example, are planning this trip for Christmas 2026, then you can also like scoop up discounted Christmas merchandise from Disney in January. If you're going to be at Disney in January, go to the Character Warehouse outlet and like get a ton of Christmas merchandise. Then I know that I have gotten a few things in January being like, okay, I'm going to use this for Christmas. In fact, I even think that purse that I was talking about, I bought that like in the summer, for example, on a discount as a way to like prepare for a December trip. So just kind of keep that in mind too, that there are ways that you can plan for a solo trip to Disney during Christmas ahead of time, months in advance, as a way to save money once you're there. Gosh, saving money at Disney just seems so far-fetched, but there are those options. Okay, and then the final tip. Christmas season is so hectic and busy. And for a lot of women and femme people, it's a lot of caregiving and taking care of everybody else. And it's just go, go, go. It's always moving, and it can be very, very stressful. It's hard to find like the joy and magic of Christmas if you are the one that is creating joy and magic for everybody else. So my other tip about taking a solo trip to Disney during Christmas and trying to be economical about it is to actually slow down, Bring a Christmas novel and go to Wilderness Lodge and go sit in front of the fireplace and read your Christmas novel. Get yourself a hot chocolate. Get yourself a spiked hot chocolate. I don't care. And just sit in front of the fire and read a Christmas book or watch a Christmas movie. White Christmas is actually the most perfect movie of all time. So that is my recommendation, obviously. But just go to Disney and know that it is safe and joyful and magical, and nobody actually needs anything from you. And so if you need this like quick little magical trip to Disney, I have talked about all these different places that you can go, but you can also just curl up in front of the fire at a place like Wilderness Lodge and just relax. You can also do the opposite of the temperatures that we normally think of around the Christmas season, and you can go to Caribbean Beach or Grand Floridian or Coronado or any of the places that have hammocks, and just go lie in a hammock and maybe have some Christmas music on, read your Christmas novel, watch your Christmas book, and just relax. And then you can get up and go to Disney Springs and walk around and see the snow and everything like that at night. But know that when you go to Disney and you are trying to have an economical trip, as I hope that this episode and the other one that I did about the resorts is that you don't actually have to go to the parks at Christmas. And if you aren't pressured to be at the parks and you're already stressed out about the Christmas season, then take the opportunity to just relax. What is the ideal way to relax, and just relax that way. I'm in education, so we get the 2 weeks off around Christmas and New Year's time. And that week between Christmas and New Year's, which actually is the busiest time of year for Disney, but all I want to do during that week is I want to be on my couch. I want to have projected on my television a roaring fire. I want to have seasonal novels, and I don't want to leave the couch. And I can only imagine that if I had children and other people to take care of, that there is no way I could have that week. And so if you know that there is no time during Christmas for you just to relax and because that's the thing, we're talking about Christmas, but just seasonality, right? The winter time is a time of hibernation. It's darker, all of that stuff. So just take that time to relax, and you can do that at Disney, and it feels really awesome and special to be doing it at Disney. And of course, all of the hotel lobbies have Christmas music and all that stuff. So I'm saying go to Wilderness Lodge and be around the fireplace. Remember, there's a fire on the first floor in the lobby, but you can go up on the different lobby levels and there are fireplaces there. You can also go just ask a cast member where the train room is in the main lobby for the DVC. sea, and there's actually like a couple fireplaces in there. It's also pretty chill. But you can also just like go sit in those really, really comfortable chairs at Caribbean Beach and listen to the Christmas music on the steel pan drums. You can go to Port Orleans Riverside and listen to like the music in that lobby. That lobby is a little bit hectic, but then you can walk over to the hammocks that's on like Old Man River Island. It's a little problematic. We're going to put that aside for now. You can go lie on that hammock. You can then like walk over to Port Orleans French Quarter and have a beignet and just hang out there. Like there are all these really cool places that you can just hang out. Bring your Christmas novel, bring your Christmas movie, bring your Christmas podcast or sound, and just enjoy this time of hibernation and joy and magic that we often miss during Christmas. So I hope that was useful in terms of some tips that can help you go to Disney during Christmas as a solo and save some money, or to do it a little bit more economically. Because sure, you can go for 4 days, buy 4-day tickets, do all the things, but also you can also just like not go to the parks at all and go to Disney Springs and go to the resorts and have a peppermint mocha from Starbucks and pop a ginger chew, and all of a sudden you're celebrating Christmas and you've saved yourself quite a lot of money. So anyway, I'm always here to save you money. And again, my grandmother, my grandfather too, would just be rolling over in their graves. But I would be providing money saving tips. But yeah, all right, everyone, until next week. Bye. Hey Solos, it's Samantha. I hope you enjoyed this episode and all the episodes of Disney Solo Magic, the #1 podcast for solo travel to Disney World. You can reach me on all of the different social media. All of those links are in this description below. You can also listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. It'd be really great if you rated, reviewed, and subscribed. It's really a wonderful way to let other people know about the podcast. And as you know, we also have a Patreon where you can get bonus content, you can get bonus episodes, you can get all of the videos of us doing the solo stories, and a whole bunch more. So come and join us on Patreon. And thanks again for listening to the podcast. Bye.